Spectrum, and welcome to the last long show of this semester.
It's been fun, and I've loved every second of it. Well, let's get to it. First, we're going to go over to Jordan and Ryan to find out what happens behind the beans of the coffee shop.
A lot goes into making coffee, especially at specialty coffee places like Dunn Brothers, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and Caribou. And the people who make signature drinks put a lot into each different one.
Noah Rogers, a senior at Spectrum who is a coffee enthusiast, was recently hired at Starbucks as a barista.
Well, I went to Starbucks every day, multiple times a day. And so eventually the manager just asked me if I wanted to work there. If there's no seasonal drinks, people normally get seasonal drinks. But if there's none, people normally get either a vanilla latte or a caramel macchiato.
Coffee is one of the most beloved drinks in America. Many people start their day with coffee, use it as a social commonality, talk over it during business meetings, and drink it for the taste or caffeine boost.
Students here at Spectrum also drink a lot of coffee. You can't walk down the hallways of Spectrum in the mornings without seeing a coffee cup or two in students' hands, showing that there must be something pretty good behind the beans. This has been Jordan
And Ryan, signing off for Noise News.
Well, I didn't know how much went on behind my cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah, that was a great story. I can't believe what they have to do to get me a cup of joe.
Well, on the subject of hot things, can you believe the winter we've been having?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's been one of the warmest winters I can remember. I wonder if that's because of the El Nino effect I've been hearing about.
Well, there's really only one surefire way to know. Let's send this over to Max and Matt to get the scoop on our strange weather.
The El Nino effect comes from the Spanish word meaning the child of Christ because it usually happens during Christmas time. It happens when the ocean is abnormally warm, causing water to evaporate into the air, causing unusual weather and climate change.
El Nino is a relatively natural occurrence where the Pacific Ocean waters become warmer. And as science tells us from the water cycle, when the waters are warmer, more water evaporates. And this warm system, when it comes onto land, can change some weather patterns. And so we're seeing, this happens routinely, it happens on and off. It is a natural occurrence, and we're seeing that this year is an El Nino year. We're having a much warmer December than normal, a much wetter December than normal.
The El Nino effect changes the weather patterns because of warm ocean water evaporating. The opposite of that, which is called the La Nina effect, is changes in weather because of abnormal cold ocean water.
This is a serious topic, El Nino, an irregular occurring of complex series of climate changes affecting the equilateral Pacific regions beyond every few years, characterized by the appearance of unusually warm, nutrient-poor water off northern Peru and Ecuador, typically in late December. That's El Nino.
Droughts in some areas and flooding in others are some negative effects of El Nino, but it also has some positive outcomes. For example, hurricane activity is generally reduced and gas and heating bills are reduced. Although the El Nino effect causes some negative side effects, it is nothing to be afraid about. It will eventually end and all weather and ocean patterns will go back to normal. This has been Max and Max from Noise News, signing off.
Huh, I guess I was right again. Pretty much a genius.
Sure, Zach, sure. You're Albert Einstein.
Up next, we have a truly motivational story of the return of Nevins Sagstetter.
Nevin collapsed on a run near the beginning of the school year and has now made a miraculously fast recovery and has made his way back to school.
It was doubtful that he would even survive the incident. Nevins' recovery is still a miracle. Now, possibly the hardest part is coming back to school. Nevin was making his return.
Nevin's cardiac event was really serious, and no, we would not expect him to recover this quickly. We didn't know if he was going to survive for several days, and then, of course, for the first couple weeks, it was completely unknown how much, if any, function he would regain. So we just counted a blessing, and it's a miracle that he is where he is, and we're so thrilled, so excited to have him back here at school with us.
It was an incredibly tough time for Nevin's family, and the cross-country team. Nevin's last practice was one that no one would ever forget.
Well, Nevin's cardiac event could have been really devastating for the team, but in fact, it united us and really helped us grow stronger together. His recovery was a real miracle, and I'm so proud of the team, the coaches, the parents, the way the entire Spectrum cross-country community came together to support one another, to care for Nevin. We wore t-shirts throughout the season and also wristbands to help us be reminded to pray for Nevin and to care for him and dedicate our season to his recovery.
After a long recovery, Nevin is back at school and back doing what he loves, running. He joined the Winter Running Club.
Nevin, to be able to come and run with us last week for the first time was absolutely thrilling for those who were there in the running club. Nevin ran 3 miles. Of course, he had to keep the pace slower, but the big grin and smile on his face said it all. And we were all smiling as well. Everyone was so happy to be able to have Nevin back with us.
Throughout tragedy, the Spectrum community came together, the cross-country team came together, and a miracle happened. A miracle that is Nevin Saxtetter. Parker and Lillian, Noise News, signing off.
Well, that was one crazy story. I can't believe how fast he recovered.
It is truly an amazing tale of great resilience. Well, let's kick it over to Jasmine and Holly to find the true cost of distracted driving.
Distracted driving is anything that could divert the driver's attention away from the primary task of driving. According to distraction.gov, the types of distractions include texting, using a phone, eating and drinking, talking to passengers, grooming, looking at maps, using a GPS, and adjusting the radio. 10% of drivers of all ages under the age of 20 involved in fatal crashes were reported as distracted at the time of the crash. This age group has the largest proportion of drivers who were distracted.
Probably loud music and my phone and people in the car. If people are like yelling and screaming, I get distracted really easily. If my phone goes off, I'll check it.
Nothing too major.
Music and then just like people in the car. I turn the radio off and I stop talking to my friends in the car.
Drive, I get most distracted by the radio and switching the song, and if someone texts me and my phone goes off, then I just really want to check it right away, and I can't. It's hard to have self-control. When you're by yourself in the car, you want to check your phone. I mean, if I'm by myself, then it's not as hard to get distracted. If there's people in the car, then I'm way too distracted.
Next, we asked our Spectrum High School students if they ever text and drive.
I've done it a few times, but definitely a lot of my friends with smartphones get distracted.
Probably every day.
Yes, I have.
In 2013, 3,154 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This represents a 6.7% increase in the number of fatalities recorded in 2012. After reading the previous statistic, we asked our Spectrum students how they feel about distracted driving.
All of those deaths could have been prevented if people could just wait to text while they were driving and just pay attention more.
Well, I feel bad because it could have been stopped by not checking your phone, because obviously someone's life is more important than the text that you just received.
Well, before even knowing the facts, I really hate texting while driving. I've heard so many stories of people who died or like killed loved ones while texting, and I just don't think Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat or anything's that important to risk your life for.
I feel like there should definitely be a lot more stricter enforcement on texting while driving or looking at your phone while driving. It definitely would. It sounds like it would. If we took that out, there would be a lot less preventable death. I think that we need to just better train future drivers and driving school reminder that that you need to focus on one thing, and that's the road, and making sure that everyone who's in the car, including yourself, stays safe, and to maybe wait till you're out of the car to continue a conversation or to send that text to someone.
That's what I'm doing. It's really awkward, but
This is the noise news. I think it picked like
Wow,
good.
I didn't realize that distracted driving affected us that much. That's insane.
That's right. I'll be sure to be a lot more cautious when I'm driving now. Let's slide it on over to find out what really went down with the choir concert.
The Spectrum Choir concerts are easily one of the most anticipated events of the school year. The first concert dates back to 9 years ago and was conducted by Miss Kirkpatrick, with the piano being played by Miss Newberger. But, unlike the past years, this year the Harmonics Choir was added, which is a choir that consists of all men.
The Harmonics came about because we have a group of boys who are really dedicated to their music. They love singing and they're willing to work at it and try really hard, and so we were able to get their schedules to all mesh together, and actually they chose the name Harmonics, and they like the accent on the men part of it. If it were written on a board, it would be men with an underline and an accent on men. But they like that name, so that was a name they voted on and chose by themselves.
The choir concert was packed full of holiday cheer, with a variety of choirs such as the high school, chamber, and 6th grade, to name a few. But not only do the people enjoy watching it, but the kids in the actual choirs are big fans of putting on the concerts too.
Really well. A lot of people participated. There was a lot of people in the crowd. I did not expect that many.
I thought the people enjoyed it. It was good. It was a fun experience for all of us.
Choir programs help teach kids how to read notes, carry a tune, and how to present themselves in front of a large group of people. It's a form of expression, and it presents a way to feel like the students are progressing in their choir experience. Not only that, but it's fun too. This has been Parker Yangle and Emma Gallagher from Noise News.
Yeah, that was one amazing concert. I didn't know we could be so collectively good at singing.
Stop, please. We're doing something right now.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, well, that's all the news we have for you today, Spectrum.
This has been Noise News, keeping you
In on the noise.